So we're gonna jump straight into the semifinals, where we can see Grixis Shadow versus Merfolk. So the same Grixis Shadow.
Uh-oh. This is an interesting matchup.
Yeah, I think Merfolk. I would say Merfolks are very favored in this matchup, in my opinion, because Merfolks have like weird kind of interactions against the Shadow deck with the what's the Merfolk that stuns?
I don't remember its name.
Yeah, but yeah, stunning the Shadow can be quite the huge thing to do. Also in the chat they're saying that very cool Luther player when they cast EI with just a swamp or with a basic swamp. It's just paper only moves. It's just the better player.
Oh no. Yeah.
Well, it didn't affect the game.
Yeah.
So, doesn't try to cheat out. Try to cheat to not lose, but lost anyway.
Yeah. And also like Merfolks against any 3-color deck have like the possibility of having like fun land denying, and then if Grixis taps out, the Merfolks can just play a Blue Moon effect and
win basically out of that.
Yeah.
Also, this Merfolk player is playing 3 chalices in the sideboard. Should probably put them wrong. So there's the Merfolk deck. So I would say, because they have so many disruptions, like making their islands with the 1/1, stunning the creatures that are so crucial, getting just destroying the mana base with the Magus of the Flood Moon, and in the second game playing Chalice on 1, denying like 70% of the whole deck. There's just so many things that they can do, but in the same time, Grixis Shadow is a really fast deck that can get on the board and just say, I don't really care that my lands are islands, you're still gonna die to this Death Shadow and Cecil and Dragon Rage Channeler, and they have so efficient removal with just having 8 1 mana almost destroy anything from you.
Exactly.
Here's the Tide Shaper against Dragon Rage Channeler, and there's the Shadow player is missing 1 card type from their graveyard to get Delirium, which shouldn't be really hard.
Yeah. Fast and easy Delirium.
Yeah, just now they need to find an instant or creature into their graveyards, and I would say Lightning Bolt here. Yes, and that's that's Delirium already.
Yeah, as you said, very aggressive start, and the Merfolk really has to get things going quickly, or they're just gonna die to the tempo.
Yeah, they need to get their game straightened out right away. Even though they have so many answers to disrupt them, they still need to do the disruption and stay alive at the same time.
Yeah.
Which might
not be they're not running counterspell either, so they're buying time with Drowner could work, but like now if Death Shadow would have a good tempo plays, they would still have a really good board.
Yeah, but still this buys 6 life just by playing this, and can represent something like Flare of Denial now. So if the Shadow player just plays a frog and it gets denied, it could mean really bad things for the Shadow player. Yeah, not having the flare and having the land open doesn't mean that they're straight away dead to the Magus of the Flood Moon.
Yeah. I've won several games with my frog deck against those locks by just discarding my hand and killing with the frog.
I think we're seeing the Floodpitch Drowner attacking with its vigilance. Yeah. That indicates something like sink or dismember in hand.
Exactly. Yeah, why would you otherwise be just helping Death Shadow get its Death Shadows on?
Or just like, why are you attacking into a frog when the player has cards?
Yeah.
Here we can see the frog attack. More confident now.
Is that 2 lightning bolts I see in his hand?
Could be. Tisha's Tidefinder, huh? Maybe this was their plan. But yeah, denying the card draw and making the frogs like not able to discard cards, but mostly the most important thing is denying the card from this.
Yeah.
Because
the Merfolk player really likes saving Tidebinder for Frog. What I've seen his games and played against him.
Which is really understandable because Frog is such a it's such a powerful card by just acting as a Phyrexian arena that attacks.
Yeah.
So shutting it down almost permanently is a really good idea to do. And because when it loses all abilities, it's just a 1/2.
Yeah.
And here's a Death Shadow, a 3/3 Death Shadow. Yeah, like I said in the beginning, from this point, like denying all of their lands might not be the way how to win. Because there is already a huge board of a 3/3 flyer, and because we know that there are at least 1 lightning bolt getting the frog online. And if there is the second one, of course the Harbinger is not gonna work. Here is the... I only know it's Rallikala. Mindspring Merfolk.
Oh yeah, Rallikala.
I don't know how it's its real name, but I know it's Mindspring Merfolk.
Yeah.
And Lord
then we can forget it.
Here's a Lord of Atlantis. I don't know if this is quite risky attack with the Lord, the 2/1. Okay, well, if you're gonna sack it to flare anyway, then it was a free attack, basically. But Merfolk can be scary for the Shadow also, because of the Lords giving the Island Walk. Because you're gonna go to the low life totals anyway, and then they're just gonna be like, here's the Lord, these attacks, do you die?
Yeah.
The Shadow is still a 3/3, so it would just trade with the Tisada's Tidebinder. And I would imagine as a Merfolk player, that's a fine enough trade to get the Death Shadow out.
Yeah, I would think so.
There's a sink being played as a land. And another fish. Now if the shadow has some more follow-ups, this could get really ugly. And Express Iteration is a follow-up.
Yeah, really strong advantage card in the Grixis deck.
Yeah.
You have so many drops.
With this, having just only 1 mana, you're almost 100% sure to able to hit 1 drop. I saw at least a Fatal Push and Expressive Iteration, so I would imagine those are the cards that got picked, because getting Iteration from Iteration it almost feels unfair, but just almost. This is a really good Fatal Push because it denies also at least a 1 card from the Merfolk player. Because with that Mindspring Merfolk, they could have drawn at least a card and given all of their Merfolks a counter. I remember the Shadow playing asking me, did they bottom deck the card? And I just confirmed that yes, they bottom decked the card. And here is the I hit you moment.
I really like Merfolks because, in a sense, it's a very.
I didn't hear what you said.
Oh no! Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, I really like Merfolk in the sense that it's a very like nostalgic, old schooly deck for me, in a sense that it's been around for a long time, and people still play it, and also like it has a lot of lords, like it's a in some sense it's a very like old schooly type tribal deck.
Yeah, well, it's almost the only tribal deck that we have these days still that at least plays lords.
Yeah.
There is still like humans try to be a deck, failing miserably, and then we have elves basically doing the same. But Merfolks is a strange deck in the sense that it's almost always relevant. In some metas it's more relevant than in others, but it's almost always somewhat playable at least.
Yeah.
I will say, now that Merfolks are starting the game, they should have a good advantage. Because now they have like more, like, because they're turn ahead of their opponent, they have so many, they're so much faster trying to deny their opponent. And with Aether Vial they also have like the mana advantage. And there is the turn 1 Ragavan. If I remember correctly, the Grixis list has the Ragavans in the sideboard. Yeah, 4 Ragavans in the sideboard. Which I understand completely why they do it. It sounds strange, but because it's such a bad card against like Boros, that it's like a dead draw in that matchup. I understand completely why it's in their sideboard. Because then again, it's a good card against Merfolks, it's a good card against combo decks especially. It's a good against Eldrazi.
Yeah, it's a interesting choice definitely, and I really like that has chosen to do that instead of just running like very generic matchup counter cards.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm looking at some modern elves decks, and it seems like the best best lord in the deck is Crater Hoof Behemoth. Like the
They don't play the Leaf Crown Visionary anymore.
well, here's one deck that is playing 1 off, one deck that is playing 2 off, but nothing like these Merfolk decks which are running 6 or 8 lords.
And even the Merfolks have like cut some amount of lords because at some point they were trying the full 12 and they have dropped some since then.
Yeah.
They also think that the Grixis Shadow has probably taken out all of the stubborn denials and brought at least Ragavans, maybe the one Sheldred's Edict for something. I'm not really sure what they're gonna cut for it though. And the Merfolks have probably brought the Chalice of the Voids and maybe taking out all of the flares, maybe. 2-for-1ing yourself against the Grixis Shadow can be a dangerous thing. And here they're offering a Mindspring Merfolk for Ragavan from the Vial, which is a trade you always take as Merfolk player and be a little bit sad as a Grixis player. Except if you have another Ragavan. And here is a Stern Scolding. Oh yeah, of course you bring Stern Scoldings. Only thing is that it doesn't hit is Death Shadows sometimes.
Yeah. Could you link me the Shadow deck list?
It's in the chat.
Yeah, but I don't see the old chats.
Oh, true. There we go.
Thank you.
But here is the free...
Oh, this is Grixis Luthrian, not Grixis Shadow.
Oh, fuck. But here we go.
Well, the
Grixis deck is a Grixis deck.
Yeah.
But here is the freest of fishes, and even 2 of them. And a Pyroclasm to destroy the freest of fishes.
Valueclasm.
Yeah, imagine it was almost like 1-0. The Silvergill Adepts drew a card, and then drew a card and died, and nothing was lost. Only tempo was lost. But here is a Tide Shaper giving an island for the Grixis Shadow because they're missing the blue color.
Yeah.
Would be really funny to see like Miss Landrop and a frog. Because it would have meant that, oh, nice, thanks for the island, now I have this.
Yeah.
There's the Nethergoyf. The Nethergoyf is at the moment artifact, land, creature, sorcery, so 4/5. Which is quite large against Merfolks, which biggest creature is like 2/2, 3/4 for the Lord.
Yeah.
Cannot see what the Shadow has in their hand at the moment. Trying to peek, see if there's anything relevant. Probably because all of the cards are relevant.
Yeah, I guess the best option to just prevent damage from the Grixis deck at this point would be like a 1-drop on Svelun to make Svelun indestructible.
Yeah, and also because you can drop the Spyloon as a instant speed with Vial.
Yeah.
So it should be only 4 at the moment. There seems to be another Pyroclasm in their hand. I think because it's probably the only white bordered card. There's a I like this technology of playing Gloom Lake Verge. It's basically just an island that pays for Dismember. You don't need to take as many hits from the Phyrexian mana. And the Tideshaper attacks, it's a 3-3 because Grixis has an island, and the island is the one that the Tideshaper made. The Merfolk probably has more interaction in their hand, otherwise I would have believed that they played more threats. So I think the Grixis Shadow is in the driver's seat at the moment because they have cheaper interaction and probably cheaper threats than the Merfolk's answers right now.
Yeah, and a good amount of cards in hand as well still. Uh-huh.
Yeah, so they're stifling the fetch.
Based.
And here is the Pyroclasm, and for that there's a Force of Negation, which is really huge to see.
Yeah.
That's the kind of tempo swing that you need. Because the Pyroclasm would have meant that everything from the Merfolk side dies, and the Grixis player would have basically won from that point. There's a Lightning Bolt in Grixis Shadow's hand. So there's still more answers.
The only thing I like about Legacy is stifling fetches, so that's something that makes me like Merfolk even more.
But yeah, now there's instant also in the graveyard, so the Goyf is a 5/6, which makes it a 2-turn clock. And another island from the top of the deck, flooding a little bit.
I'm just so salty that like the OG Goyf isn't even like Tarmogoyf isn't even like that good card anymore, and now it's been power crept. Like usually I don't complain about power creep that much, but I would really like to see like an old Jund with both of the Goyfs or something like that do better.
Just make it a deck. Just start playing it and make it a deck.
Yeah.
Just be better.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Grixis Shadow has won, and even though when I was judging the event, I thought the Merfolks would win. But
yeah.
They both have like ways to win the game, and the Merfolks never got to the point where they could disrupt enough. Yeah, there's probably some amount of what they have sided in if I left it. Because we can at least see the Chalice and Stern Scoldings. Forces from the sideboard also. The Force of Negations are from the sideboard also. But yeah, they're just gonna yap something, but